What up, YouTube? It's your boy Overlord. I'm gonna call this first section. I might have to do 2 parts on this. Call this Chopping 101. We're just gonna talk about the art of chopping, the basics of it. I'm gonna show you the basics of chopping. Once you know the basics of anything, you can take yourself, you can advance and do better and do some creative things. Chopping is an art, so once you know the basics, then you can take it all to another level. So I highly recommend knowing the basics first. No different from riding a bike or doing any other type of art or sport. Once you know the basics, then you can advance. Like riding a bike. Once you know how to ride a bike, you learn how to keep your balance, then you can jump ramps and do tricks and bunny hops and things of that nature. But if you don't know how to ride a bike to begin with, then all that other stuff don't matter in the first place. So that being said, let's concentrate on chopping. I put the song in. I'm gonna let you hear it real quick, just a little bit of it. That's about the most I would use of this song. And this is what I'm gonna use for example. So let me zoom in real quick. One of the first things of chopping is getting instruments and sounds and drums of that nature. Back in the day we did it by ear, but now with computers and the way they designed the machines, from an MPC to the Native Instruments machine to the MV8000 or 8800, MPC 2500, MPC 1000, 2000 XL, I can go on and on. Whether you're using Reasons, whether you're using Logic, Ableton Live, all the concept is the same. It never changes. It's the same. They all just have different ways of going about it, but it's all the same. So I'm gonna zoom in real close. Now you can sample a lot of different ways. You can sample by beat, you can sample by time, or you can sample by transients. And transients is just a way to show you the visual wave file of a sound. Like you can tell that this is an instrument, either a kick drum or snare or something like that, just by looking at the transients. If I zoom in even more, you can kind of see this wave file here that I got highlighted, and that's the instrument. I can take that, export just that one sound, and then put some effects on it, filter it or whatever. So that's one sound, and then here's another sound right here. It's obvious that that's a tom. So this is a way you can go through, listen to music, you hear something you like, or it's a song start off with drums. Great way to get drums and build a drum library. So if you're sitting around bored, you can't make beats, make drums, do something. Don't be a lazy producer. Alright, so there you go. So that's how you would get drums, kicks, snares. You can look at the transients. You can look at it here. I know you can see this little thing moving around. I don't have the little yellow bar to show you. But anyway, you can see all this right here. That's the transient. And then here's another one right here after it. So if I wanted to, I could highlight this and just do that. And just take that piece if I want. And the same thing goes for the musical parts. So you can export those or extract them, no matter what it is that you're using, and that's how you can get your drum sounds. And then chopping musical loops, which is probably the main thing people are interested in. I'm gonna zoom out, and we'll even get started into there. Zoom out a little bit. All right, let it play. Alright, cool. My musical part starts right here. I'm gonna zoom in, and the closer you are to that that transient, to where that big piece begins, I'm gonna use my finger right here. Once you hit it at the very beginning of that's like your 1 or your 2. So you can hit it. I'm right there on the musical phrase once it started. There you go. That's 8 notes right there. In music, all it is rhythm and timing. That's all music is. At the end of the day, it all comes down to rhythm and timing. So if you know how to count music or count notes, you'll be fine. If you got an ear for this and you got some type of rhythm, and you know how to count notes, you won't have no problems chopping. Alright? So I'm gonna count this one out. I'm gonna count 8, and then I'm gonna count 16. Check it out. So it's gonna be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's 8, and then we'll come back around to the 1, and that will be a loop. Now, say I wanted to do 16, it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 1. Comes back around to the 1. So I'm gonna do a loop on the first 8. I'm gonna count them out again, and then I'm gonna highlight it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1. So I'm gonna zoom in. Pardon me. So I'm just around a little over 9 seconds in here. So I'm gonna highlight the area, and this should be where it starts over again. Right there. Zoom in a little bit more, that way I can. That's a cool thing with computers and a lot of machines now. You can zoom in and get real close to your transients, and pretty much almost know that it's going to hit on time. Where back in the day, we had to listen to it and make sure that loop was on point. But let me zoom out a little bit. Hopefully it's not too boring. Hopefully this is informative. Alright, so this is the loop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then it's coming back around to the 1. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna repeat that. I'm gonna repeat that one extra time, and that way you'll hear the loop. Zoom back in. So now I got it twice. It might sound a little funny, but you'll get the idea. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2. I'm gonna let you hear it without my big mouth saying anything. And that's a loop. It could be tighter, but the point of this is not to get it perfect, just to give you an idea, you know. And you could take that loop if it's rare enough, or one of them rare records, or something you know nobody has heard, or even if it's something somebody's heard, you might just want to just take that loop, throw drums under it, or take a musical loop and add other instruments to it and just get creative. Like I said, once you know the idea and the concept of it all, you can go wherever you want with it. All right, so that's 8, and I'm gonna come back. We're going to do 16 as well. So I'm going to count out 16 and let you hear how a 16 note loop will sound. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 1. Zoom in. Look for my point. I think my point would be right around here. Let's listen to it. Yep. And if I was to take that, repeat it twice. Then let you hear it. No need to count it out. $13, $14, $15. So you get the point. So that's 16. Now, you can chop these musical phrases just like, I'm going to reduce that and zoom in. Just like you do drum beats, because you can look at the transients and know. Generally, when I chop up samples, I compound my samples. And compounding is simple. It's simple math. Like if it was one note, I would probably chop it into 2 pieces. If it was 2 notes, I would chop it into 4. If it was 4 notes, I would chop it into 8. If it was 8 notes, I would chop it into 16. If it was 16 notes, I would chop it up into 32. If it's 32 notes, I would chop it up into 64. If it's 64 notes, I would just play the goddamn song. So because who would sample that long? Unless you Kanye doing through the wire, I don't know. But anyway, that being said, I'm gonna let you see how this first chop will probably be on a pad if it was an MPC or MV. Let's count them out. It'll probably be this. Depending on how big I made it, I probably would take those 16 notes off those and put them on separate pads. If I wanted to do that, I would take the first note, which would be 1, 2, right? So that would actually be this piece right here. If I wanted to take big chunks, this would be the first one. That'd be on the first pad, and then the second piece would probably be this. And you can see how you take those different pieces, those different chops. If they was on pad, you could play around with it and change the musical composition to whatever you want it to be. Now, also, like I said, I compound my chops, and sometimes you use the auto chop feature. If you take 8 notes, you chop into 16 pieces, this piece would actually be cut in half. So you wouldn't have this. That would be cut in half. So you probably will only have this. Matter of fact, I know you would only have this. So that would be on pad 1. And this piece right here, computer act, right? Well, if I do it right, it's not me. User error. Alright. Then this would be on pad 2. This would be on pad 3. And this right here will probably be pad. Yeah, this would be pad 3. If I chopped it into took an 8-bar or 8-note loop and chopped it into 16 pieces, and this would be pad 4. It'll be something like that. So you get the point. So if you take a 16-note music loop or music piece, chop it into 16 pieces, you'll have bigger pieces. So it'd be like kick, snare, 1, 2, 1, 2. Now if you take that and you chop it into, and if you take that 16 note piece and chop into 32 pieces, you have kick or 1, then half, then 2 would be the snare. So when you hit 2 will actually be 4 pieces. So hopefully I'm explaining this right and you understand what I'm saying. So you'll have pieces kind of cut in half. So it'll be, because there's more chops. But anyway, the smaller the pieces, the more flexibility you'll have on your chops. I'm probably gonna, this is part 1, and I'm gonna take this same musical piece, and I can show you how it will land and how it will sound on the pads. So that'll be chopping 102. I don't know what to call it. That'll be the next video. But I want you to get a visual idea of how it looks and hopefully understand the art of timing and doing your chops. And of course, you can get real intricate and real crafty with your chops, but everybody do that, have a way of chopping, and I say find your way. So thanks for watching. Hopefully this was helpful. Thank you.